And let's just set the stage on ideology. I listened to Dan Caldwell on Tucker. He's, I think, very much aligned with Tucker's view of foreign policy, more dovish, less hawkish, very anti-neocon.
Right.
Both having come to that organically over the years, but Dan actually fought. It was, as a soldier, and so,
right.
has a personally very committed view towards that. And you're in that camp yourself, or no?
Well, I can tell you, having been in a war for something like 2.5 years of my life total, I am not a fan of going to places that I think we have no real policy objective, and then our military officers are not really understanding the strategy to win. We don't even know what winning is. But I'm not a policy person, quite frankly. I was brought in to buy the right thing at the right cost, which is a completely different problem that the department has, and that is a really intangible problem that we're trying to fix, or intractable problem, I should say. That's me. I think Darren was brought in very much on the workforce side and the military health side to try and rectify some of the problems there. And Dan is a policy ops person. So his role was EUCOM policy, so Europe, and CENTCOM policy, so the Middle East. That's what he focused on.
Mm-hmm. You know that Dan alleged that he's not a leaker, he leaked nothing, and that it's possible he was fired for his ideology, in particular his position that we should not be getting into a war with Iran. What do you think of that?
I think I watched that. I think that maybe Tucker was had an angle there. And honestly, when we were fired, I don't think none of us knew exactly what was going on. So when he filmed that, I think it was still very nebulous as to why we were fired.
You and I are talking on Friday. It's been a week since your firing.
Right.
He interviewed with Tucker. It came out, I think, Monday morning. So
correct.
Yeah.
So he probably interviewed over the weekend.
Yeah.
I think that since then, we've learned a lot more. And that's from, friends in the White House, friends in the building, the Air Force OSI investigators I talked to, the media blitz of people that have called us saying, hey, here's what the White House, or here's what the Department of Defense is leaking about you right now. Can you comment on it? And so I think we have a better, and then honestly, Joe Casper did a on-the-record interview with DropSite.
Joe Casper, just for the record again, is the chief of staff to Pete Hegseth,
correct,
or was up until a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And has been moved out of that position in this same time period, and has been sort of, I don't know if we'd call it a demotion, but he was a staffer and has been changed into a special government employee, which
correct,
is
yeah,
different and less scrutinized position.